Back into the book of Revelation, we're going to have a look at chapter 6, verse 8. This is the fourth of the four horsemen of the apocalypse. So I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and the name of him who sat on it was Death, and Hades followed with him. And power was given to them over a fourth of the earth, to kill with sword, with hunger, with death, and by the beasts of the earth. So following three other horses, which are white, red, and black, the fourth horse is actually a light green colour, which is a most unnatural colour for a horse. But the rider is named Thanatos, which is death. Now this is quite an inconvenient reference, because Thanatos is the personification of death in Greek mythology and religion. And this has traditionally been seen by the Christian church as satanic in origin, standing in opposition to the Bible rather than having anything in common with it or anything that might contribute to our understanding of it. And he is followed by Hades. Again, this is not the population of hell. This is another god from Greek mythology, the god of the underworld. And then it's said that death is given power to kill with death. Now there's an alternate translation here. The New International Version renders this word plague. However, there is a different word in the Greek for plague, which is used 12 times throughout Revelation. In Revelation chapter 2, where the same phrase killed with death is used, the New International renders it, I will strike her children dead. So Revelation chapter 6 really can only be and should only be translated as killed with death. But what does it mean? In Romans chapter 6 we read that the wages of sin is death. But the Apostle John puts it more simply, and I think more helpfully, when he writes, he who does not love his brother abides in death. Now that's just a stranger thing to say. How can you abide in death, live in death? What does that mean? Well, according to John, death is to live without love. It's not that we need to have thousands of friends clamouring for our attention. It's that we live and act out of a love which exists within our own hearts. Matthew chapter 4 speaks of the ministry of Jesus when it quotes the book of Isaiah. The people who sat in darkness have seen a great light, and upon those who sat in the region and shadow of death, light has dawned. And that's us. We live in the shadow of death, both as an imminent threat, but also with vision which is clouded by living in a world that is based upon appearances and superficialities. A world in which so much which is dead is looked at as a source of life. In John chapter 15, Jesus said this, "This is my commandment, that you love one another as I have loved you. Greater love has no one than this, than to lay down one's life for his friends. You are my friends if you do whatever I command you. These things I command you, that you love one another." And it's worth remembering that when Jesus said that, the wheels of his arrest and crucifixion were already set in motion, and he knew it. He wasn't bitter or angry. He didn't rage at his enemies or command for their execution. Knowing everything that was to come, he simply commanded his disciples to love.